This is the Roulette Master, and I've been using 2 of Todd Hoover's strategies to win money in Las Vegas this week. And many of you have been asking me in the emails which one of Todd Hoover's strategies is the best. So today we're going to put his 2 best up against each other in a head-to-head matchup and see which one makes the most money. And also he has a new one releasing later in the week that's fantastic. So you can really look forward to that as well. And let's go ahead and start with the easy peasy roulette system first. And we're going to start with $10 on 5 double streets. So let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to put a $5 bet on the 0 double 0. That's a $55 total bet. You can see we have a 0 balance. Let's go ahead and spin, and let's see which one of his strategies makes the most money today. And that's a 7 red. That's a $5 win. And each time we win, we'll win $5. And then when we have losses, I'll share with you what to do next. The really cool thing about this system is that there's coverage on the 0. Most high coverage systems do not have coverage on the 0. And zeros are usually what wreck most high coverage systems. We're up $10. Let's rebet and spin. And once we have a loss, I'll share with you what to do next. Here we go. All right, that's a 21 red, and that's another win. So we'll just keep taking these wins until we do have a loss, and we're up 15. Let's rebet and spin, and here we go. So a lot of times when people lose their bankroll with systems that are using 5 double streets, it's because they hit back-to-back zeros or something like that. So we've got that covered with this one. We're up 20. Let's rebet and spin, and then I'll share with you the new method that Todd Hoover's using to recover on losses with this many numbers covered. And that is a $25 win. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go with Easy Peasy Roulette by Todd Hoover. And that's a 19 red. And that's a $5 win. And we're up $30. Let's just go ahead and rebet and spin. And here we go. That's an 8 black. Okay, that's a win. We're up 35. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin again here. And here we go. That is a 20 black, so we're consistently winning. But when you have 5 double streets, you get a lot of wins, and we're at 40 now. The difference is we also have the zeros covered. So again, usually when 5 double streets gets wrecked, it's because you hit the zeros. We're going to actually make more money, and a lot more money when we hit the zeros. So we're at 45, and so we'll welcome the zeros today. And let's see a bunch of zeros, 0 or double 0. And that's a 23 red. We won again. Okay, but we're up 50. Make sure you stick around to see what happens when you lose with this system. Because high coverage systems, it's always about how does it recover, because there's so much bet out there when you do lose. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. We're up 55. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. Again, this is a $55 total bet to start. $10 on 5 double streets and $5 on the 0 double 0. That's another win. We're currently up $60. And we'll rebet and spin. And here we go with Easy Peasy Roulette. That's a 21 red. That's another win. $5 win. We're up 65. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. And it's great to find really good roulette systems because in Las Vegas this week, I'm seeing so many people losing on slots. And we're up 70. And if you can find a really good roulette system that that has good bankroll protection, man, it's so much better than playing slots. But I know the majority of people just jump on those slot machines and fire away. It doesn't take any thought. We're up $75, and let's rebet and spin. And here we go. All right, that is an 18 red. And that's a $5 win, and we're up 80. And I think the biggest reason people do that's because they think that playing table games is too complicated. But actually, most of the systems that do really well are not very complicated. And that's a $55 loss there. So what we're going to do now is, since we hit 1 to 18, we're going to put $55 on 1 to 18. Just like that. We're going to leave everything else the same. Now we have a 110 bet, and let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. That's a 10 black. And that's a $60 win, and we're up 85. So now we go back to 55. And hopefully we'll hit some zeros with this one too. Again, we have 10 on each of the 5 double streets and 5 on the 0 double 0. That's a 30 red. That's another win. We're currently up $90. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin again, and I'll share with you what to do if you have back-to-back losses as well. And it's super simple. That's a 17 black. That's a $5 win. We're up 95. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin, and here we go. That's a 26 black. That's another win. And you know, anytime you're using 5 double streets, you're going to get a lot of wins, and we're up 100. And not only do we have the 5 double streets, again, we have the 0 double 0 as well. So that's a lot of numbers covered. And that's a 31 black. That's 32 numbers covered, even better than 30. We're up 105. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And let me know down in the comments if you like this better when we're all said and done, or if you like the modification I did to 5 double streets yesterday. And that's a $5 win. We're up $110, and let's go ahead and spin again. All right, here we go. And let's see what we get here. That's a 13 black. Okay, that's a win, and we're up $115. Let's rebet and spin. And again, very simple what we're going to do once we have multiple losses. But right now, we're just enjoying winning, and you're going to get a lot of wins with this many numbers covered, 32 to be exact. We're up $120. And let's go ahead and spin. And I made it in to see Sunny yesterday in Las Vegas, and we always talk about you know, getting in and getting out, and it's a great thing. And we're up $125. Let's go ahead and spin. And me and my son were wearing the shirts that I made, you know, based on what Sunny's belief is of getting in and getting out. So I think he thought that was pretty cool. And we're up $130. Let's rebet and spin. And those shirts say declare victory over the casino. And that's a 12 red. And it says cash out on the other side. So we're up $135. Let's rebet and spin. So cash out on the front and then declare victory on the casino on the back. And he thought that was pretty cool, I think. And it's always good to see him in his element in the casino as well. And we're up $140. Let's rebet and spin. And he was pretty busy, though. Man, it was very, very busy this week in Las Vegas. And that is a $5 win. We're up $145. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. Lots of fun on Fremont Street. That's a 36 red. And that's a loss. We're going to take that $55. We're going to bet it on 19 to 36 because that's what hit was 19 to 36. So it's kind of a follow the winner strategy there. But I need to share with you what happens if you lose at this 110 level, which is an additional $55 on 19 to 36. So let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 1 red. And we lost again. Okay, good. You'll get to see what happens. So we're going to take the 55. We just lost 110. So you see right there, we lost $110, and we had 55 on 19 to 36. So what we're going to do now is, since the 1 to 18 hit, we're going to take the 55, plus you see the 110 we lost there. We're going to add those together, and that's going to be let's see here. Yeah, it was a $110 loss. And then we add the 55 to that. That's 165. So we're going to take that down to 0. And then we're going to put the 165 on 1 to 18. So let's go ahead and do that. So we had back-to-back losses. It doesn't happen very often. But let's see if we can get the win right here. And let's go ahead and spend. This is a very different recovery than what you're probably used to. And that's a 0. So we lost $130 there because the only time you lose on the zeros is in the recovery here. So we take the 130 that we just lost, and remember where we were before at 165. So 165, that's 265, 75, 85, 95. So 295 will be our next bet, and we'll still be on 1 to 18 because we hit the zero. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and spin. That's a $350 total bet. And here we go. Let's get a low number. Okay, there it is. That's a 6 black. That's a $300 win. So now we're back up $150. We reset. So all we're really doing here And let's put the bets back out again. All we're really doing here is when you lose, you were playing follow the winner on 1 to 18 or 19 to 36 in the recovery. And when you lose, we're adding what you lost to what you had on the previous recovery bet. So let's go ahead now, and we're back to our original $55 bet. And here we go. So anything you lose while you're in the recovery, you add. First, you're going to move it to the 1 to 18 or 19 to 36, whichever hit last. And we're up 155. Let's rebet and spin. And again, the only time you lose on zeros is in the recovery. The rest of the time, you will make a big win on a zero. So that's because before that, we don't have any money on the 1 to 18 or 19 to 36. We're only doing that in the recovery. We're up $160. And let's go ahead and rebet and spin. Here we go. All right. So this is the time you want to hit the zeros because it's a jackpot when you hit the zeros if you're not in recovery. And we're up 165. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin. And here we go again with Easy Peasy Roulette. And that's a 1 red. That would have been nice to get the 00 there, but we lost. And now we're going to take that $55 and we'll put it on 1 to 18 because that's what we hit last. So I need to actually change that to 5s. There's our $55 bet on 1 to 18. And again, if we lose this, we add 55 to whatever we lose. That's a 30 red. And we lost $50. So we add 50 to 55. Now we have $105 on 19 to 36. But first, let's put the rest of the bets out there. And we have to take off the 1 to 18. So if you look there, we had 110 plus the 50 we lost. So that's 160. So we'll have 160 on 19 to 36. I think I said that wrong the first time. But you basically just add what you lost to what was on the 1 to 18 or the 19 to 36. Then you take off the other bet because we're playing follow the winner here with those. So let's go ahead now, and we're up 60. This is a 215 total bet, and let's go ahead and spin. And there we go. That's a 32 red. So once you hit it, you recover, and we're up to 25 now. So now we go back to where we started, and let's put the bets back out again. Again, we start with 5 on 0 double 0, and then we put a 10 on 5 double streets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then again, when you lose, you start with $55 on 1 to 18 or 19 to 36, whatever hit last. And then you add any future losses to that until you get a win. And that's a $5 win. We're up $230. And let's go ahead and spin again here with Easy Peasy Roulette. And that's an 8 black. And that's a $5 win. We're up $235. Let's go ahead and rebet and spin again here. And here we go. But remember, with all these systems, just like Sonny always says, get in and get out and declare victory over the casino, just like those shirts. And that is a $240. We're up $240. Let's rebet and spin. And here we go. Ooh, that 0 would have been nice. We'll take another $5 win, and now we're up $245. Let's rebet and spin, and here we go. So you're just using your math skills to add up losses, and we almost got that 00, but man, we lost. The one right next to it is a loser, so we'll take that $55 and we'll put it on 1 to 18. And let me switch back to $5 units here. There we go. Let's go ahead and spin. And let's see if we can get a low number here. We did not. So we're going to take the 55 we lost plus the 50 there, and that's 105. So we'll be on 19 to 36 for 105. Okay, and let's go ahead and spin. Oh, shoot. I should have put the other bets out there first. Sorry about that, guys. So we lost that too. So we're going to have to add that. So we were at 105, and then we lost 105. So now we have a 210 bet on 1 to 18. But we got to put the rest of those bets out there as well. Sorry, I messed that up there, guys. So let's put the bets back out again. Okay. Okay, and that was the original bet there. Those don't change, and then we'll put the 5 over here. Okay, and then on that, so on this, in this case, we'd add the 105 plus the other. Let's see, that last one we lost 105. We started at 55, then we did 50. So now we will. Let's see, so that's 105 and 105. So we'll be at 205. And sorry I messed that up there, guys. Let's put that out there. So we'll be at 205 now. Okay, on 1 to 18. Let's get the win so we can reset, and let's see if we can get another low number here. And we're right at the 15-minute mark here in a minute, so let's see what we get. Okay, there we go. That's a 12 red. And that's a 210 win. Now we're back up to 45. So basically, we're just adding to whatever you lose, you add to the 1 to 18 or 19 to 36 bet. Let me know what you think of that down in the comments. And now we're up 245. Now it's time for his other incredible system. And let's go ahead and get into 3 wishes right now and see if it can make more than $245 in 15 minutes. All right, here we go. All right, it is time for 3 Wishes by Todd Hoover, and I can't wait to share this one with you again because it's been doing great lately, and many of you have asked me a lot of questions about it. Some of you thought that it was, a little bit too difficult to understand, but it's actually really easy. So let's go over all of that again, and here we go. We're looking at the last 2 numbers, and if they're separated in the dozens, like we have to go from the 7 to the 29, then we look at columns. So the 12 and the 7 are actually separated as well. So he said when that happens on columns and dozens, then you go with the last to hit, which would be first 12, and the longest since it's hit, which would be second 12. Let's go ahead and get started, and here we go. And that might be the part that might have complicated some of you guys, but really the most important part of this is the progression, and we're going to go over that. So when you get a win, we're going to go from 10 to 5. And then we're going to be on the dozen that hit last. So we'll be on first 12. We take half of what we won. And then we put $1 on either all the red numbers or all the black numbers in that dozen. And then we also put $1 on the 000. That's a $12 total bet. And here we go. This is our first wish of 3 wishes. So that's a 26 black, and we lost. And the important thing to remember here is we don't change anything except for the dozen and the 000 when we lose. So we're on to our second wish. We're going to go from 5 to 10. And then we're going to go from, actually the dollar is going to stay $1 on the 000, but it'll go up here if we lose again. This is our second wish at $17. And here we go. And that's a 20 black. Okay, we lost again. So now we're to our third wish, and that's the real secret of this, is that you can't go past the 3 wishes. So now we have 15 on first 12. It goes up by the amount that it starts with on each wish. Now, once you get to where you're at 15, if you're over 10, then the 000 goes to $2. And if that sounded complicated, I'll put it a really easy way. If you're at 20, it's 2. If you're at 25, it's 3. If you're at 30, it's 3. If you're at 35, it's 4. So anything over that initial amount adds another $1. And this is our third wish and a $23 total bet. And this is the real secret, is if you lose all 3, then you don't go any further. Either way, you don't go any further. But that's a $58 win there, and now we're up $39. So if we had lost that, the 3 wishes would be done. And what we would do next is the $5 bet that we started with would go to 10, and then it would double to 20. And then we'd put 20 on the next 2 dozens instead of 10. So let's go ahead, and we won that one, and we're in session profits. So we'll be looking at first and second 12 now because they're the last 2 numbers that have hit. And we're up $39 already. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. And if a few of these things are seem complicated, you can actually adjust those things and just stick. The progression is what the key is. So that is a win. So we take half of the 20, and then we'll take a $10 bet, and we'll put it on the one that hit last, which is first 12. I'm sorry, not a $10 bet, a $5 bet, because you take half of what you won. We won 10. So we'll do the black numbers this time. Okay, just like that. And then we'll put $1 on the 000. This is wish number 1 of 3. And again, the secret to this is, the reason it's been working so well is, you don't just keep going if you lose all 3 wishes. You start over and you readjust level 1. So that is a loss. So we'll start by going from 5 to 10. And then we'll add $1 to the 0 00. Actually, I'm sorry, we don't add that. We have to be over 10 to go to $2. So it'll be a $17 bet. And this will be wish number 2 right here. With this is 3 wishes by Todd Hoover. And that's an 11 black. And we got a nice win there of $49. So we're up $86 now. And we'll start again. And we'll be on. It looks like the last 2 to hit would be first 12 and second 12. So we'll start right there at 10 each. And here we go. We're back to level 1. But make sure you stick around, because you need to know what happens if you don't get it in the 3 wishes. I need to go over again how that works. So we lost that one. So when you lose, we haven't gone over this yet. When you lose, you go up a unit on these. So we're going to go from 10 to 20 on each. And it looks like we'll be, actually the first and the third are separated. So he says look for columns at that point if they're not close together. So the 11 and the 18 are in the second and third column. So we're going to go there, and we're going to have 20 each instead of 10 each. Each time you lose in level 1, you just go up a unit, so from 10 to 20. Let's go ahead and spend. This is a $40 total bet, and here we go. And that's a 1 red. And I think we lost that one. We did, and that was at 20 each. So guess what we do now? We go to 30 each. And the 1 and the 28 are in the same column, and the 1 and the 28 are separated on the third 12. So again, that's when Todd says you go last to hit and the longest since it's hit. So if you can't do it on either one. So you can see that was 20 each, so we go to 30 each. The last to hit would be first 12, and the longest since it's hit would be second 12. So now we're at 30 each, 60 total. Still in level 1 here. We're going up a unit when we lose. And that's a 32 red. And we lost again. So we're going to go from 30 to 40. The first and third 12 are separated. So 1 and 32, that would be first and second column. So that's where we're going to go, because they're together. And again, you don't have to do that. You can pick whichever dozens or columns you want if that's too complicated for you, but that's what Todd Hoover does. So that's the way I'm going to share it with you today. And we were at 30 each, as you can see. So now we'll be at 40 each. So it goes up a unit each time you lose. Let's get a win right here, and here we go. That's an 8 black. Okay, there's a win at 40. So guess what we do? We take half of that $40 we won, which is 20, and we put it on the dozen that hit last. So we're going to put $20 on first 12, and then that'll put $2 now. Since it's 20, not 10, we're going to have $2 on. We'll do the red numbers this time, all the red numbers, and then we'll put $2 on the 000. So that's a $34 total bet. This is wish number 1 of 3 wishes, and here we go. That's a 30 red. We lost. So remember, the dozen goes up by the amount it starts with if you lose. So if you see here, we were at 20 there. So the 20 will go to 40. So let's go ahead and do that. So it's not by unit anymore. It's whatever it starts with. So this would go, if we lost again, we'd go to 60. So 20, 40, 60. But we're on the $40 bet right now, which will change the 000 to 4. But remember, the other ones don't change unless you get another 3 wishes. Those stay the same. Those other singles. This is a $56 bet. This is wish number 2 of 3 wishes. And again, the secret is if we lose all 3, we're not gonna keep going. Okay, but that's a nice $64 win there. We're up 36. And Todd says if you get a win like that that's not on one of the numbers that's covered, then what he does is when he goes back, if he's not in session profit, when he goes back, and you can see we were at 20 when we started this one, when he goes back, he just restarts at double what we started. So he wouldn't go back to 10 and 10. He'd go to 40 and 40, and that's because we started this one with 20 on the first 12. So again, if you get a win and you're not in session profit because you didn't hit the right one, you just restart and you go right back to where you were before again, which in this case would be 40 and 40. And let's go ahead now, and we'll be on the 8 and the 30 are separated. So let's see, the 8 and the 30 are together in the columns. So we'll go to 40 there and 40 there. And again, the reason we're not resetting is because we are not in session profit. And we didn't hit a jackpot. We hit just a win. So that's a 21 red. And that's a win at 40. So we take half of that, which is 20. And we'll put it on the dozen that hit last. So we'll put it on second 12. And then we'll put $2 because it's 20 on all of these, and then $2 on the 000. And remember, if it's 22, that's 3. If it's 30, that's 3. If it's 31, that's 4. Once you go over the tens, then you go up another one. So that's a $34 bet, and this is wish number 1 right here of 3 wishes. And that's a 36 red. And we lost, so we go to wish number 2. And remember, the dozen always goes up by what it starts. So it was at 20, so we're going to go to 40. And then that changes the 000 to 4. The other bets stay the same, and this is wish number 2 of 3 wishes. All right, that's a 17 black. And that's a really good one. That's a $136 win because black was covered. And if we had gone through all 3 wishes and lost, remember, all you do is you go up a unit from what it started, which in this case was 20 before we went to 40. So we'd go from 20 to 30 and then double. So we'd go 20, 30, and then 60 each on the next 2 dozens if we had lost all 3 wishes. And we're up $178, but since we are in session profit, we restart. So we'll go back to 10 and 10. And the times you don't go back to the beginning is if again, if you're not in session profit. So you go back to where you were before. All right, so second and third dozen right now at 10 each. And here we go. And again, if you lose at this level, you just go up $10 each time until you get a win. And that's on each one of those. And that's a 9 red. We lost. So we go to 20 each. And it looks like it'll be first and second 12 this time. The last 2 to hit. And again, you just go up a unit on each. These are $10 units on each until you get a win. And we got a win. So again, when you get a win, you take half of that, which is 10. And we'll put it on the dozen that just hit. And then we'll put $1 on. We'll go red this time. And then $1 on the 000. That's a $17 total bet. And let's go ahead and spin. All right, here we go. This is wish number 1, and that's a 22 black. Okay, we lost, and now we're going to go from 10 to 20. And then we'll put $2 on the 000. Not 3, we got to back one of those up. And this is wish number 2 right here. Let's go ahead and spin. And that's a loss, 29 black. Okay, so we go to wish number 3. And again, the secret to this is if you go through all 3 wishes, you don't keep going. And I'll share that with you if we lose this one here. So now we're going to have 30 on first 12, 10, 20, and then 30. It goes up by the amount that you started with, which was 10. And then that puts $3 on the 000. And again, we don't change. Let me adjust that one. It's back to 3 now. And again, the other ones, the ones on the red numbers do not change unless you go to a whole new wish, 3 wishes. So here we go. That's a 16 red. Okay, so that's a $39 loss. And we were at 30, so guess what that means? We lost all 3 wishes. So what we do now is, what we started with was 10. We go to 20, and then we double that to 40. So that means now we start back over in level 1, but we go to 40 and 40. And this is the real secret of this system. And because you don't just keep chasing it until you lose your bankroll. If you don't get the 3 wishes, you reset everything, and you go up a unit and then double to get the next bet. So that's a win there at 40. So that means we're going to put a, you see we got that, we're going to put a $20 bet because half of 40 is 20, and it'll be on second 12 because that's what just hit. So let's go ahead and again, since that's at 20, these will be $2 bets on the black numbers in the second 12, and you can choose black or red. And then we'll also have a $2 bet on 000. That's a $34 bet. This is wish number 1. And that's a 20 black. That's a good one. All right, it's a $98 win. Now we're up $232. So we're back to level 1 again at 10 each. And it looks like the last two are second 12 and third 12. So those are together. So we'll start with 10 and 10 there and spin. And again, I think the most important part of this is the bets and the progression. So, how you pick your dozens, you could probably change if you wanted to. But this is how Todd Hoover plays it. So we lost at 10 and 10, so we're going to go to 20 and 20. Now we'll be on first and second 12, the last two to hit. And then again, once you win, you'll take half of this and go to the level 2, and we got the win. So that's a 14 red. So we'll take half of the 20 that we won, and which is 10, and we'll put 10 on. It looks like it'd be second 12, which just hit last, which puts $1 on everything else. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And again, once it gets over 10, it goes to 2. So we're at a $17 total bet here. This is wish number 1. And here we go. That's a 17 black. We lost, so we go to wish. No, I'm sorry, we won. What am I saying? We won. That's a $49 bet. That's always great when you think you lost one and then you hit it. And we're the 15 minutes is up now, so we made $281 in 15 minutes. So this system just did slightly better than the Easy Peasy roulette system, but both of them made over $200 profit. This one made $281. I think the other one was at $240 something. So it did really well, and I know this one sometimes seems a little complicated, but the more you play it, believe me, the first time I tried it, I was a little overwhelmed as well, and then you just kind of get into the hang of it. And if you make a mistake, you just jump right back on board. But the secret of this system is that after the 3 wishes are over, you do not continue on like most systems do and just bankrupt the bankroll. The secret to this is you go back to level 1, you add a unit and double, and then you put that amount on each of the next 2 dozens and start over. And then if you lose those, you just add a unit to each until you get a win. So really, really smart system. And thank you, Todd Hoover, for making both of these. And we look forward to your next system that's coming out later in the week. I can't wait for that one. So again, if you guys want to send a system in, please send it to roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. And we do this every single day of the week, 365 days of the year, in the search for the best roulette system possible each and every day. And if you're enjoying that search with me, please like, share, and subscribe. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.